Okay, so here we go. This is Chremoa in the Kitakami. Now, Chremoa, you were a Patreon, one of my first Patreon supporters, actually, and you used to subscribe to the channel and all that, so I do appreciate, all that support. And you also stream, right?
I streamed a while because I got really sick. And it's just really burnt out.
It happens. Streaming it takes a lot. So this is a brawl. So 3 versus 3. Let's talk about the ship history real quick. It's got a bit of a storied history, as Chremoa was mentioning earlier. In the in closed beta, and maybe open beta, when she was originally released, she was known as a team-killing monster because look at all those torpedo tubes on her. Now, this is an actual ship. In World War II, the Japanese really did retrofit 2 ships with a ton of torpedo launchers. The idea being that they would go in, they'd fire a whole bunch of torpedoes and just destroy whatever fleet or large number of bulked up ships are there. So there you go. In World of Warships, she was known as a team killer. Basically, she'd go fire off torpedoes, and then everybody would die on the team. To the point where Wargaming pulled the ship from the game. Not only did they do that, they also, if I remember right, compensated everybody who spent money on the ship, and they did refunds, all that good stuff, because they had no way to deal with the situation. Then, what they decided to do in their infinite wisdom, at the beginning of Ranked Battles, the very first season of Ranked Battles, Kitakami was given to those few people who managed to rank out in the pilot season of Ranked Battles. There were 7 people who did that on North America. Wargaming didn't tell anybody they were going to do that, though. And then they gave it to them afterwards as a gift. I have a strong feeling they did that because they thought, okay, well, these are the best players on the server. These players surely aren't going to team kill as much and stuff. So what's the ship going to be like in the hands of a good player? Guess what happened? Those 7 people took the Kitakamis out, and they started team killing like crazy. So, once again, got pulled off of all those accounts. Fast forward, we're talking, guys, this was like 7 years ago. Fast forward 7 years, now team killing is really not a thing because torpedo team damage doesn't happen. And the Kitakami's been switched around a bit. She can now carry deep water torpedoes. She can carry standard ones as well. So some of her torpedo armament can even, hit her own teammates, essentially. Anyways. The other big change was Kitakami was originally tier 8, tier 8, and they moved her up to tier 10. Originally, she didn't have anything special about her other than the torpedoes. Now she's got crawling smoke, she's got engine boost, she's got a heal. Like I said, all that is stuff that she didn't have originally. Also depth charges, because 7 years ago, subs weren't a thing.
Wasn't she also a destroyer?
Let's talk about nostalgia. No, she was always a cruiser when she was in this game.
Oh, okay.
Because she's based off of the Kuma hull at tier 4. All right. So there's a little history of the ship. There's a little bit of background about her and also her characteristics. Let's go ahead and take a look at the build for our Kitakami.
There are some drawbacks, if I recall right. She only has a limited amount of guns. I think it's like, what, 4?
Yeah, it's a Kuma. Literally, you take the Kuma and put it at tier 10. Or 8 originally.
I believe the guns are the same, too.
Mm-hmm.
She also has no armor. I've still
Correct.
build her with any destroyer. Mm-hmm. And she has no AA.
Right, because she's a Kuma. I mean, I think her armor is a little bit thicker than the Kuma tier 4 in some places. But she's a Kuma. That's it. So, really, it's about utilizing the torpedoes, making them work, using everything else, all the other tools available, mainly not your guns, in order to do stuff. Now, there's a little bit of a wackiness about the torpedoes as well. and in the way that they reload, they use this submarine mechanic of torpedo reload instead of all launchers reloading at once. Okay, let's get to the build then for Chremoa. So I saw you've got Yamamoto. So let's go ahead and put that one in. I saw the pennant at the top of the mast here. So let's get into your modules. Main armaments mod 1 to keep your torpedoes alive. That seems like a duh. Although you could make the argument for damage control. So when you DCP, you've got longer invulnerability for those torpedo tubes to be stunned or broken again. However, action time is only 5 seconds, so that's really not worth it. That would take you to 7 seconds. Nah. You've got engine boost modification. This is very handy to keep you going into either out of trouble or into trouble, depending on how you look at it. Relocate, all that good stuff. If you don't want to use engine boost, you definitely would want to go for engine room protection to keep your engines alive and rudder too. Your third slot, you've got torpedo tubes modification 1. Again, your torpedoes are your bread and butter, so keeping them alive as long as possible makes perfect sense. Alternately, if you want to play her more like Apollo Emilio, then you would probably want to take smoke generator modification 1 so that you can go and death blossom all the things while in smoke. This is probably the better choice, especially for random battles. Steering gears modification 1. Your maneuverability, your rudder shift time is 5.6 seconds. But you'll note that she does not have the ability to take propulsion. So really there's nothing else better to take at that slot. Slot number 5, you've got concealment. Makes perfect sense. And then finally slot 6. Why wouldn't you speed up your torpedo reload? Okay. Consumables, you've got damage control, smoke, engine boost and heal, like I mentioned, and you've got Yamamoto. Is this a pure build for the Kitakami, or do you have Yamamoto built for another cruiser and you just slapped him in?
This is the build I went with, pure build for Kitakami.
Okay.
For torpedoes.
Perfect. All right. That's why I'm curious. Panzerkex, hello, good to see you. So this is a full torpedo build. This is the same captain build that you're using, but you're using Suzuki. Renzo Suzuki gives you extra hit points. It gives you 50 extra because he's got buffed survivability expert. Boofed. However, if you're playing Yamamoto, you get the first kill of the battle, and you get 1 extra heal, so you get a baked-in kind of superintendent. Can work. I like the idea of Suzuki as a commander, though. So you've gone for consumable specialist. You want to get that smoke, that engine boost ready to go as quickly as possible. You've got from there, it looks like fill the tubes. Makes perfect sense. You want to get your torpedoes going. Your torpedoes are your bread and butter, so pack a punch makes sense. Adrenaline rush, of course, so you take damage. Survivability expert and concealment are both, makes perfect sense there. You've got swift fish for torpedo speed, sure. And then you've got consumable enhancements. You get extra time for your smoke generator, and your engine boost, extra 10%, is very sexy. Incoming fire alert tells you if you're about to be screwed. However, at medium to close range, this probably isn't as impactful, but you're not using your guns anyway, so why do you care about that? And last stand makes absolute perfect sense. Okay. For flags, you've got anti-det, you've got fire reduction, heal boosting, speed, consumables. You did pick the smoke flag up, okay. Now this, of course, synergizes well with the special module that increases smoke too, but like I said before, you wanted to keep your torpedoes alive. You've got the flooding chance, of course, and then you've got the fire and flood chance flag. You might as well. All right. I think it's time to get into the battle. What do you guys think? Let's do it. Build viewer down. Here we go. Now, you just went into a random game of Brawls. No division mate or anything like that. Is that...
No, it wasn't just random. It was accidental. I thought I was going to randoms, and it came out, and I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-huh. So all of a sudden you thought this is not going to be good.
This map looks really small.
Yeah. Well, as somebody on the enemy team said, LOL, you've got no battleship. What they should have said is, LOL, we've got the perfect battleship killing team device on the enemy team. Devices, because there's the Kleber that can YOLO too.
Yeah, I think I have about 4 minutes of speed boost.
Yeah. It's kind of nice, isn't it?
Times.
Why do I hear Vegeta's theme music? Oh, God.
Yeah, because I could hear it on mine. I was like, where's that coming from?
Don't forget, these 12-kilometer torps on this ship are a lot weaker than regular IJN-12s. That's true, Hujam. But in a situation like this, when you're literally going to YOLO 1, maybe 2 battleships, yeah, you'll be fine. Worthy of note, none of the ships on the enemy team has Hydro. This would have been a very different game, I can already tell, if Hydro was available for the enemy team. Now you've got the deep water torpedoes selected. The deep waters, as you can see, only hit the battleships or carriers in a game. So this isn't for Napoli. Oh, and then you see the Napoli and you're like, nah.
Yeah, I believe a fire, and then after that, I'm like, oh, might fire another one.
Mm-hmm.
Then I see our Kleber going for it.
And again, this is why team killing was a thing with this ship, right? You're like, no problem, I got this. And then you look and the Kleber is doing that. All right, well, he got the Napoli anyway, which is the thing you wanted to get killed. The other two you can probably handle. I wouldn't turn out like this. I would probably go straight to the island. I don't know what your Marseille is doing.
I wasn't sure how far if they had come in because I hadn't seen them in a little bit of time.
Right. But what I'm getting at is, and I've done this in a random myself. A lot of this whole Kitakami play, you could play kind of standoff like you're doing right now with your deep waters. The other thing that you could do is YOLO ships with it. So you go straight at it, you pop your engine boost, you pop your smoke, and they have no idea where you are if they don't have Hydro, and bad things happen to them. Now you're using it in a different way.
Yeah.
You tried to get the decap, but of course this is Brawl, so that the cap happens a lot quicker. You do get the hit and a torpedo. Now, because this is crawling smoke, this is what I'm talking about with the ability to YOLO shot. Chips, I mean. Marseille really needs to go into the cap. There's no spotting, that's true. I'm just saying Big O, or sorry, Blue Falcon. I'm just saying that he's in a position where if he went up to the island, he could choose to go in or out, depending on what the battleships, the enemy battleships chose to do. And if he saw where they were, what they were doing, then he can just pop his smoke and then get in a position to try to torp, you know, maybe from both sides even. Because remember, these launchers are on each side of the ship. They're not middle like a typical destroyer. So, I was envisioning, Chremoa, in this game that you were going to YOLO those two battleships and hit one on either side and, like, you know, put the badass shades up and all that. Not saying this is a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, that's what I was bracing myself for. And now that I've said it, I know Big O's going to find a way to make that happen.
In my mind, I keep thinking guns are good, but they're not in this ship.
Okay, hold on a sec. Chremoa, go ahead first.
I was saying, I keep thinking to use my guns, thinking, oh, hey, you know, it's still a ship. I can still use my guns to do something. Then I'm like, oh, wait, I forgot I'm in the Kitakami. His guns suck.
The only thing they're good for is setting fires. And that's pretty much it. Big O, what were you saying now?
I'm not going to Kitakami anytime soon. I'm probably going to wait till it comes back.
Gotcha. Alright, well, the Marseille is... I mean, with the destroyer dead and you in a position where you really can't afford to go out in front of the battleships, He's just going to get farmed down, which is fine. Your smoke is available, and your speed boost comes up in 15 seconds. So we might actually just see what I was talking about. Because those two battleships are playing... they're kind of holding their hands up on that island there. A little early on the smoke usage, I might have held it until I knew what the Ohio and Montana were doing. Because if they just sit there, you've wasted your smoke. Engine boost. There you go. See, now this forces you... Yeah, you're going to have to come out this way. Yep. But I think that smoke's going to expire right at the wrong time. Or...
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Yeah, and that's why you turn this way. I would fire one right now, just in case the battleships did move forward.
Don't remember if I do or not.
And now you are proxy spotted by the Montana. And you instinctively slow down and turn in case the Ohio's there, but they're... Oh my god.
Yeah, they're both right there. And they both know I'm there because I'm up against the island.
Well, of course. The big thing is, they can just walk into BCAP. I mean, they're going to win on time anyway in 3.5 minutes. So, what are you thinking? I mean, obviously you're not just going to offload your crew and go have a picnic.
I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. I'll strike.
So the perfect moment is you're basically saying, I'm waiting for the enemy team to throw. I'm waiting for that Ohio to get aggressive. Huh?
I keep thinking the Ohio's going to go forward. I'll get like a couple torps on him.
He doesn't need to. I like the decision to move forward here. Ohio knows that you're moving forward. Honestly, I would just come out flat broadside to the Montana. Because if you think about it, he's just going to overmatch your Citadel. He's so close. This will only work if you can bait the Ohio to shooting at you while you're not proxy spotted by the Montana.
Yeah. So that's why I started backing up.
Okay.
So I can get out at the proxy spot.
I understand. You've got like you've got like a minute left in this game. Are you gonna go right back in? Now you're gonna get yourself proxy spotted again.
Yes.
Okay, but the Montana decided to keep backing up, trying to find a shot on you. So now you need the Montana to die. So now Montana dies. That's a time extension for you.
Yep.
Oh my god. No, indeed, Blue Falcon. Yeah, like I said, you waited for them to throw. You're gonna keep backing up because then he only has 2 turrets he can fire at you.
What I didn't realize is he was like that. And I'm like, wait for smoke.
Brawls, do you have time for that? I guess so. Yeah, okay. Remember, when you're at really extreme close range, and that's the Montana thing I was talking about, I think you would have only just gotten overpenned. I don't think he would have been able to pen your Citadel. In other words, you wouldn't have gotten blapped, you know what I'm saying, if you had kept backing up with the Montana backing up. But we don't know what the Ohio is doing.
Yeah, just patiently waiting. For my smoke, I still have engine boost up, and here I go.
Shotgun loaded. It's probably the thinnest tier 10 yet. Oh, he had HE loaded for you. That was very smart of the Ohio. Oh my god. I win. Yeah, you do. And you're gonna T-pose on him, literally. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I just figured a lot of times if you can wait and be patient.
Well, you were lucky in that situation. You know, you were able to do that.
Completely dev strike me.
He was 1 or 2 shells away from doing that with HE loaded. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay render. Have you played the Kitakami a lot in randoms?
Have I?
Yeah.
Here and there. You can only get so close, but there's always a lot of radar every time I get one. The weirdest match I've had so far is that my friend and I, we went in as tier 10s, and we ended up in a tier 6 match. And then we did it again, we ended up in the tier 7 match. We did it again, we ended up in a tier 5. I'm like, I think this thing is cursed.
Wait, you're for asymmetric?
No. For random battles.
In a Kitakami?
In a Kitakami. Happened 3 times in one day.
You have the replays?
No.
Okay. I'd love to be able to share that with Wargaming and be like, look, dude, your matchmaker's broken.
I only shared the first one because the other 2 corrupted for some reason.
Okay. So I paused the replay render here because this is the part where I was talking about. I would have rather seen you at Echo 6 ready to go in.
Go in.
Right. Either so that gives you the option to go around the island behind or go straight in. Frankly, at this point, Marseille isn't in a position to do much of anything anyways, except die, which you'll see happen soon anyway. Like he's sitting broadside to the battleships right now. Oh, he backs up. Okay. But yeah, basically what you did with that smoke and engine boost combo, you could have done earlier. Is kind of what I'm getting at. While you had the advantage in a sense of spotting from the Marseille while he dies.
I thought he was going to be behind that, at least behind that island, that little one.
Nope, he just sat there and died instead.
So I was like, I got to do something.
Okay. I'm already thinking of a title for this one, Angry Staring. Or like Stare Contest or something like that.
The stare down.
Stare down, I like that.
Staring down your opponent minutes away from death.
I mean, just look at this. Look at the craziness right here. Like, and then the fact that Ohio, look at that. He almost, like I said, one more shell, and that would have been a death strike, and you wouldn't have been sharing this replay.
Yeah. I could go around the other way and got him, but he had his plane constantly up, so.
Yeah. The difference with that, though, is if you had come out before smoking and he knew you were there, he would have only been able to shoot you with his rear 2 turrets.
Yeah.
Which probably would have been the better decision because of the fact he couldn't kill you, right, that way.
The thing that got me the most is how long did he even sit there in that position just waiting for me to come out right there?
I don't think either of them.
While.
I don't think either of them expected to lose, and also, I don't think either of them wanted to put themselves in a position to lose. Fortunately for you, the Montana threw, because if he would have just stayed, he would have been fine. But he got greedy, backed up, and tried to get the kill on you. They both thought they were going to get the easy kill. So, I want to look at one other thing. I don't usually do this, but I want to go back to the detailed report, and I want to see how much damage you got here. So the Montana hit you with 2 shells for 1188, and then the Ohio had hit you. What is the hit point for this ship? Where is it? 33,000. 33,000 hit points. Now, you did tick off your heal, So you were able to heal some of that damage before some of the other shells hit. I saw that you had the heal going at the end there. But
I knew it was probably going to be a big hit.
Yeah, and you were right. It was probably a bigger hit than you thought, and it was definitely bigger than I thought because, like I said, he was smart and had HE loaded. But 7 of his 8 shells hit you. Like I said, if there was an 8th, you'd be dead.
Yeah. Just got really lucky.
Also demonstrates the importance of survivability expert. If you didn't have survivability expert, you also would have been dead. Wow. Well, that was a fun replay to check out, I gotta say. So thanks for sending that one in.
Problem.
Absolutely nutty. That was crazy stuff.